Okay, the next stitch I'm going to demonstrate is the woven wheel, and we're going to start the same way we start all of them. I'm just going to secure my thread behind here. The one thing I'm going to say about the woven wheel is that you want to do your woven wheels as close to the beginning of your stitching as possible, especially when there's stuff close to them, because as you weave around, you're going to have to push your needle out. And if you have all of this filled in or this filled in, even this up here, you can easily nick it with your thread. And the easiest way to avoid that is to do it first so that there isn't a bunch of other stitching in the way. So we're gonna go coming up through here. We're gonna do our spokes. So your spokes are the part that you're gonna have to weave your thread underneath to create the wheel. And part of that is that you need this to be loose enough, you need this to be loose enough that you can catch it underneath. So not pulling that super tight. In a normal embroidery, you would have fabric, and when you go under fabric, the fabric has a little bit of give to it because it's got normally a tiny bit of stretch, like a drum. So you would be able to push the fabric down to kind of weave underneath. Now, wood doesn't have any give. So as you push, try to catch underneath of that, the thread's tension on these spokes is going to matter. So you don't want it too loose that it's floppy, but just enough that you can like get your needle underneath of it without it being too difficult. So we've finished our spokes, and now if you've noticed, we went down through the middle. So my thread right now is in the middle. And normally on a woven wheel, you would come up between the spokes, but since we still need to use the same hole, you need to do a quick knot through your stitches so that this thread is secure, so it doesn't just come straight back up. Hopefully that makes sense. So then we're going to come back up through our middle hole because we need to start in the center. And then it's like a traditional woven wheel now. You just need to go over and under. So I've come up through the center, and I'm just going to start by going under this one here. And then skipping over this one, and then under my next one. And I do find that when I'm doing this, I like to move my wood around in a circle. Just makes it a little easier. So you're just going over and under every other one. But if you can see, I just caught that heart, right? Because I can't, my wood is flat, so I can't kind of push my needle up. So my biggest suggestion with the woven wheels is make sure that you're doing them very close to the beginning, if not always first. Because right now I'd be hitting these leaves here with my needle because I can't bend it on the wood. I hope that's making sense to everyone. Okay. So I'm just going around and around until I've kind of covered the holes. So because the holes are on the very outside, I'm just going to go until I can't really see the spokes anymore. And then the option to finishing them too is to actually just stitch a little stitch around. So I'll show that in a second because that's, you can keep weaving the way I am, but also to kind of fill in the holes, you can go down into this hole. So I'm right here, I'm gonna go down into this one. And then you can kind of create like a back stitch around the outside if you'd like to fill the hole. And just complete the outside of the woven wheel. I like to pull it pretty tight so that it doesn't look like just a box going around the outside. And then I kind of fluff up my rows like that. And then we're gonna finish it at the back the same way we finish anything at the back. I'll weave our needle underneath. Oops, it's kind of hard to grab. Securing it, and then one more time with a knot. So securing my thread, going through the loop that's created, and then pulling tight. Okay. And then trimming any loose ends. And then our woven wheel is complete. So if you have any questions about the woven wheel, please reach out, and hopefully those tips will help if you have any trouble.